Yeah, you know what time it is. No scripts, no filters, no fear. We said what we said and meant that. Off the record, off the record. Yeah, we keep it real, real, real. No filter shit, we say what we feel. Politics, stories, truth on display. Come on, we talk that talk in our own way. Off the record, minion the God, let's go. Yeah. Yeah, you know what time it is. No scripts, no filters, no fear. We said what we said and meant that. Off the record, off the record. Yeah, we keep it real, real, real. No filter shit, we say what we feel. Politics, stories, truth on display. Come on, we talk that talk in our own way. Off the record, minion the God, let's go. Foxy 2, Roxy 3, she go hard.
I swear on everything, that is exactly what he said right here in the studio.
That is the funniest thing I have heard all week.
So hard, Lizzie with the facts she never miss. I said what I said, that's the twist. Off the record, yeah. Come and catch the vibe. Where real ones talk and the truth survive. Late night truth, we don't just speak. We pull the roots from what they keep. From pain to progress, we light the flame. No spin, no script, we call it by name. Minion bring the vision, Foxy bring the flame. Lizzie drop a cease, it'll never be the same. I said what I said, say it loud, no shame. We taking truth global, remember the name. No apologies, no disguise. Just soul and purpose in our eyes. We move with power, bold and free. Say it loud, you gon' feel this energy. Energy, energy, yeah. Energy, yeah. Energy, yeah. Off the record, uncut and raw. You say the things you wish you saw. I said what I said, Foxy, Lizzie, Minion, the God. This the realest show you ever saw. Off the record. We said what we said. Off the record. Yeah. Yeah. Say what we said. The record.
Hey, 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 what's good, everybody? Oh, wait.
It's good that you did that because I couldn't hear. My sound went out for a sec, so it's all good. But hey, everybody. Welcome to the Off the Record show. I'm your host. I said what I said, and we have my partners in the house, Minion with Opinion and Foxy 2, Roxy 3. Welcome in, guys. So welcome
What's
to the
good?
what's good, Minion? What's good, Fox?
Oh, what's good? What's good? Welcome, everybody.
Well, welcome to the channel where we say what we want to say and we mean it. Now, if you're looking for honest opinions, cultural commentary, and conversations that don't tiptoe around the truth, stay tuned because we got a show today for you.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And I guess we will wait, but what's good, Dirt Bike Juice? And we got Kiba D in the building. What's good, guys? As you guys come in, we'll acknowledge y'all. But yeah, guys, we have a huge show to talk about today. And you guys see what the topic is. And we are going to be discussing a lot of different things. So let's get into the show. I guess the first thing that we're going to be talking
The
about.
words of the late John F. Kennedy come back to haunt us. 5 years ago, he said, Those who make peaceful revolution impossible will make violent revolution inevitable.
All right, so we're gonna start off with that saying from Dr. Martin Luther King, being that today is his birthday, and he was a pivotal um he played a pivotal role in civil rights, the civil rights movement, and us being able to have free speech and do what we do today as Black Americans. So
Yes,
um,
he did. Happy birthday, Martin Luther King. Happy birthday.
happy
Yes, happy.
birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
Yes. And so I guess today's topic is going to be centered around whether or not we are living the dream that Martin Luther King had. Like, uh, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So the next clip is going to be kind of over some of the tactics that ISIS has been using. And we're going to listen to a snippet of Martin Luther King's speech. Now, this is his Beyond Vietnam speech that he gave on April 4th. I got it from a news outlet, so you guys are more than welcome to search it in YouTube. But
Increasingly by choice or by accident, this is the role our nation has taken, the role of those who make peaceful revolution impossible by refusing to give up the privileges and the pleasures that come from the immense profits of overseas investments. I am convinced that if we are to get on the right side of the world revolution, we as a nation must undergo a radical revolution of values. We must rapidly begin the shift from a thing-oriented society to a person-oriented society, when machines and computers, profit motives and property rights are considered more important than people. The giant triplets of racism, extreme materialism, and militarism are incapable of being conquered. A true revolution of values will soon cause us to question the fairness and justice of many of our past and present policies. On the one hand, we are called to play the Good Samaritan on life's roadside, but that will be only an initial act. One day we must come to see that the whole Jericho road must be transformed so that men and women will not be constantly beaten and robbed as they make their journey on life's highway. True compassion is more than flinging a coin to a beggar. It comes to see that an edifice which produces beggars needs restructuring. A true revolution of values will soon look uneasily on the glaring contrast of poverty and wealth. With righteous indignation, it will look across the seas and see individual capitalists of the West investing huge sums of money in Asia, Africa, and South America, only to take the profits out with no concern for the social betterment of the countries and say this is not just.
all right, so that was just a snippet of Dr. King's speech. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that he's speaking maybe something that he didn't know was actually I mean, maybe this is just not the last revolution. Maybe we just have come to terms with the fact that we're always going to have to fight, and our democracy and our rights are always going to be something that we can't just rest on our laurels and think that they're inherent to us. We just probably are going to have to do this another time. Do you think that this is the last revolution that we're going to have, guys?
I don't think so. If you listen to the speech, he talk about South Africa. I mean, he talk about Africa and South America, and what they're trying to do now is take their land. I mean, take the properties of those two that he named. So basically, remember they say there's nothing new under the sun. So I think it's gonna be just keep revolving, and it's just gonna keep revolving. That's just my opinion.
He made this speech in 1968. That wasn't even 100 years ago.
Right. And look what's happening. We're going through it right now. He's trying to take over. He went to Africa, bombed Africa to try to get whatever they have. He's done gone to South America, and so he's talking about taking over South America. Venezuela. So, what Martin Luther King said in his speech is coming to pass.
Well, I feel like America was founded on violence, right?
Yeah,
It was found on theft, right?
that's right.
It
Right.
was founded on racism, but they said that they wanted to come over here so that they could practice freedoms of religion, freedom of speech, and not be under a king. And so, in my opinion, it's just kind of coming full circle. We're going back to where we started from, in my opinion. I see in the news where people are talking about civil war. We have all of this hate on both sides of the aisle. And so I feel like America is always going to have something that they're going to have to fight about because of because of the foundation that it was founded upon. And so how can we have peace when we started out with violence? When we started out stealing? When we came over here and took the land from the Indians and just treat them horribly. Yeah, they got a little compensation for taking their land, and they did give them a little piece of their land or what have you. But we came over here and we took land from everybody, from the Indians, from Mexico, and from the settlers that were already here. So, in my opinion, Martin Luther King was before his time. It wasn't really even before his time. He's just talking about the things that was going on within his time frame, and things just haven't never changed. We've never achieved the dream. We were working on it, but I don't feel like the dream was ever achieved anyway. Because look at the racism that we've always encountered, and yes, we got a little further than what we used to be. They kind of got rid of the separate but equal. But is it separate but equal? It's always been separate, but it's never been equal. So no, we'll never get out. I don't feel like America will ever get out of this mess because of the way that it was founded.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree. It's never going to be, like you said, it was violence, and now we going back to violence. We had kind of subsided with as much violence, and from back when Martin Luther King and them was. Now here we are violent again. I mean, it's not us this time, but it's still violence. And eventually, violence always end up doing what? Veering over into the in somebody else's space. So now it's violence everywhere now, more so than it was before.
Not really. I have to disagree with that. It's always been violence. It's always been racism. The only difference now is you get to see it on camera now, but it's always been Fox. Remember
Now
Jim
it's an
Crow?
attack on people with cameras.
Hmm.
Now they're trying to attack people with cameras, make
Yeah,
it a federal offense to record.
yeah, but I don't think the violence has ever stopped. It just wasn't seen.
Right.
It just was. It's just that everybody didn't have a camera, and you didn't know about it. But if you were in the South, and you were raised in the South, let me tell you something, baby. We
Yeah,
have
it was
Tell
on.
me,
towns. We have towns that you can't even go to at night. Okay,
sundown time.
sundown towns.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. They got one in North Carolina called Hoboken, and they lift the bridge at when it turns dark. They lift the bridge. If
Yeah,
you are African American and you have not got out of there, You know, we haven't had proof because of course, they're not going to tell you. But a lot of blacks have been missing that got caught on that side of the bridge.
Well, we
If they
can
didn't
use Sandra Bland.
cross
We
that
can
bridge after
use,
6 o'clock.
but we can use Sandra Bland as a prime example of things not changing and staying the same
Institutionally, right?
institutionally. Yes, and we can look at the court system. We can look at the racism. We can look at the hatred. And so, in my opinion, the violence is never. It hasn't never stopped. No, even we even still getting people lynched. Wasn't it a couple of people just lynched here recently?
Yeah,
Truck
yeah.
drivers and
Wow.
stuff being lynched, remember? And so in my opinion, it's not as prevalent as it used to be. And it's hitting they try to hide it a little bit better, but in my opinion, the violence has never stopped. And the hate has never stopped, and the racism has never stopped. So as long as you have people that want to use their face card as privilege, and as long as everybody, as long as other races want to use their skin color for power, America is going to stay the same. It's not changing, in my opinion.
I think that's a good segue into the history of Martin Luther King from this little lesson. It's just a snippet. It's not, full in-depth history lesson, but I think it's just enough to kind of give us a little context to what his dream was and what he had a vision for in terms of what America should look like. So let's look at this real quick.
President Trump said in an interview last week with the New York Times that he believed civil rights era protections resulted in white people being, quote, very badly treated. Derek Johnson, the president of the NAACP, responded to that, saying there was, quote, no evidence that white men were discriminated against as a result of the civil rights movement. The Civil Rights Act and efforts to rectify the long history of this country denying access to people based on race in every measurable category. Dr. King believed deeply in the promise of America, even as he relentlessly challenged its failures. That tension feels familiar to me. I grew up with a father who taught me to be proud to be American. We had an American flag hanging outside of the front of our home. And that pride still coexisted with the truth that Black Americans built this country, acknowledged by historians and institutions through centuries of enslaved labor that fueled its physical and economic foundation without ever receiving equal share of what they helped create. Remember that I Have a Dream speech came amid a long season of anti-Black violence. In Birmingham, children were met with fire hoses and police dogs. In Jackson, sit-ins were attacked. Medgar Evers was murdered outside of his home. Against that reality, Dr. King imagined still a future where, quote, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will sit down together at the table of brotherhood. That vision wasn't naive, it was defiant. Dr. King didn't deny despair, but he refused to surrender to it. During his 1964 Nobel Prize acceptance speech, he said, quote, I refuse to accept despair as the final response to ambiguities of history. He chose hope as an act of resistance.
All right, so that's just a brief kind of summary of the vision that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had for America, where although we know that we may not all see eye to eye and may not like one another, we could still sit at the same table and we could still have conversations to move the country forward together versus separately. Do you guys have anything to add to that little snippet? Because I think that the next clip is going to also encompass a little bit more of what King's dream was, where he wanted to kind of give a message of color blindness, where we don't look at the color of people's skin, where we, look at the content of their character. So, if y'all don't have anything to add, I'm going to play this clip and then we can talk about it all.
His message has actually fallen out of fashion with both many on the left and the right, and it's had negative consequences. Color blindness. needs to be brought back, in my view, as a concept. And I really do blame, you might roll your eyes at this, but I'm going to do it anyway, wokeness for attacking the concept of colorblindness. Through the 2010s, progressives wanted us to pay so much attention to issues of race and identity. And the impact of that was that people on the right also started thinking about whiteness as an identity in reaction. And now there's just too much discussion of race overall. We should go back to the normie liberal version that Martin Luther King outlined, that you do not judge a man by the color of his skin. We shouldn't even see it. We should train ourselves not to see it. But instead, we were trained by Robin DiAngelo type people in the 2010s to see it everywhere. They said that being colorblind was a form of racism itself, because race so affects us that we need to be paying attention to all that all the time. Well, that has created this moment where racism is increasing. It is increasing. There's no argument against it at this point. I encounter more racist sentiment today than I did growing up. And that's a really damning indictment of what has brought us to this moment. But the answer to it is Martin Luther King Jr.'s message. I fully believe that. I don't think that civil rights, that ending discrimination is an attack on white people. I would argue that racial preferencing is an attack on not just white people, but whoever is underfavored by the admissions or the hiring, if they are done in accordance with preference.
All right. So, what do you guys think about what he's saying? As a white American, he says, "Yeah, I mean, we should go back to color blindness, but um, the woke movement, the liberals, the leftists have pushed this race agenda on everybody, and that could be what's causing the quote unquote black exhaustion. Maybe, I don't know. What do you guys think?"
Well, I think he needs to do a little bit more research. Um, I don't think it's just the left that's promoting um, racism, because the left wouldn't have to say anything if everybody was getting along, right? And I
Right.
don't know why people keep saying, let's just go back to when it wasn't racism. It's always been racism. It's never stopped. And so I just think he just need to, know his history a little bit better. Racism has never stopped. Yes, it was contained a little bit more because a lot of people were just racist at home. And now they're not being racist at home. They're being racist everywhere they go. But it's never stopped. It's always been.
That's what I was gonna say earlier. That yeah, the racism hasn't ratcheted down. It
Right.
was just quieter,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, it was quieter. It's got
it
a
was
lot quieter. But it was a lot quieter. But now it's back wide open again. That's
Yeah.
yeah,
me.
yeah.
And
But I
and
think
and and also, um, what's different now is if you're on the right side of not being racist to someone, and you're a different ethnicity, then yes, you're being attacked now. But if you go back to the 60s, remember they were unaliving the left that came down to help march with Martin Luther King.
Yeah, because
They
remember that
demonized
gentleman,
they demonized those people also.
right?
It just wasn't as many of them as it is now. I feel like that's what the difference is.
Because I remember there was a guy that came down and he left Virginia to come down to March, and he was found unalive. They finally found him. I think it was like 3 or 4 months later. They finally found his body, and he came down to protest, and they told him not to come. He came anyway, and he marched for a while, and then next thing we know, he was unalive.
well, a lot of people are becoming unalive with this new ICE administration. So we're actually going to get a little bit more into it, but um, let's talk about what ICE is actually doing to our communities, because I think that's going to also kind of shed some light on what this agenda is. Why are they pushing all this racism and all this other stuff? Or if that's what they're doing, maybe they're just instilling law and order back into America. That's what they claim.
Like, we was trapped. Anywhere, I couldn't go forward, pulling off, couldn't go backwards. Like, it was nothing I could have did to get out that situation at the time.
A family was caught in the crossfire between ICE agents and protesters in North Minneapolis. Reg Chapman sat down with a couple and their 6 children who were trapped inside their vehicle when tear gas exploded underneath.
Sean and Destiny Jackson, their 11 and 7-year-olds, 4-year-old twins and 6-month-old baby boy were on their way home from basketball practice when they were caught between protesters and ICE agents.
They stopped at my car and they proceeded to yell in and said, get out of here. Well, they used profanity. And my husband screamed and said, we're trying.
The couple stayed calm. They say ICE agents ramped up their demands.
They said it again, and we said, we're trying, if you guys will move. And of course, like everybody's seeing what happened with Renee, what I'm saying? We weren't gonna pull off and, while they were right there, because that's what we were trying to avoid.
Destiny says the agents walked to the back of their vehicle and released a canister of tear gas under their vehicle.
Within seconds, there was a big boom and our car was up in the air and we slammed down and all of our airbags deployed and all of our doors locked. And tear gas just started forming, a ball of gas just started forming around the car.
She says panic set in.
I managed to feel around and open up I unlocked everybody's door and I hopped out and I just started pulling as many kids as I could out.
Bystanders stepped up. Destiny says she was taken inside a house nearby and total strangers began helping her children out of the smoke-filled vehicle.
The last person to get out the car was my infant child. And then when he came in, he was lifeless, it was foam or bubbles coming out of his mouth. I had to give him mouth-to-mouth and CPR. Couldn't even breathe myself. And all I remember is between every breath, I was saying, I'm gonna give you every breath I have until you get yours back.
The couple has been together since their days at North High School. Sean was coached by Minneapolis and Metro Transit police officers, has respect for law enforcement. Now their lives forever changed by ICE agents and a canister of tear gas.
It's like they didn't have no care in the world for us, so.
And the windows was down. You can see my kids in the car. The lights were on in the car.
With photojournalist Tony Peterson, Reg Chapman, WCCO News.
Parents say that the children are traumatized and not sleeping, but are physically okay. A fund has been set up to help this family financially, to help with medical bills and to replace the family vehicle.
Well, just sad. I know, right? That's all you can really do,
Woo, child.
And it's crazy because there are people out there who in 2026, are okay with this. This is normal. When just a year ago, I think, or, less than a year, a little over a year ago when he wasn't in office, when Biden was in office, this would be unimaginable for us to be okay with this.
Even with George Bush wasn't this bad as far as, the hatred on American citizens. No other president that I can remember, let's put it that way. No other president that's been in my lifetime has done anything to this, to the degree of what this evil Agent Orange is doing, that this evil Agent Orange person is doing at this point. And so people can say that, it's about the criminals, it's about the immigrants, it's about this, it's about a bunch of bullshit is what it's about. It's about a bunch of racism. And really in my opinion, this is about conformity. Everybody need to conform. Everybody need to do as he say, and just let him be a king or a dictator, and then everything's going to be all right, because that's basically what this is about. Everything that America was founded on and stood for, he's trying to erase all of that and take you back to when everybody was in Europe, right? Trying to take us back to being a king and a dictator, which that's what America
not
was
even
founded
Europe.
on.
Well, yeah, Europe.
Yeah,
so
Europe,
remember, that's the reason.
Rome and
Rome,
Greece and all that. He want to go back to.
Yeah, he's trying to go back to the medieval times and take us.
That's the reason why they supposedly had came over here to discover the United States, to get away from all of that, and yet you're doing it here.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. You trying to take us back to where to where we tried to get away from. And it wasn't even no us of what y'all try to get away from. Because actually y'all just brought us over here. We wasn't even over here at
Picked
that
us
time.
along the way. Yeah,
Yeah,
just
y'all,
picked
yeah,
us up
y'all
along
put
y'all
y'all,
way.
yeah, y'all go pick us up, bring us along for the damn ride, and then you mad because we over here. Make that shit
Man,
make
because we,
sense.
yeah, right.
Make
Right.
it make
Exactly.
sense to me. Because we didn't ask to come over here. You came over there and got me.
And brought us over here. And
Brought
then
us
now,
over here.
and
You
then
Yeah,
could
keep
have
telling
kept
us
us where the fuck we was
that
exactly.
hot.
And then look, then say go back. And then when you get in
You
their
didn't
face,
say
they
go
say
back home.
go back home.
at.
We didn't
And
want to
figure
leave
out
in
how
the
to
first
get
place.
there.
No,
Yeah,
we didn't want to leave in the first place.
right.
Y'all brought us over here.
Isn't that's what ICE doing? Picking people up and just dropping them off anywhere they
You're right.
they just,
And telling them to figure it
yeah,
out.
they just dropping people off at at the edge of town. They don't care where they drop you off. At least the police department sometimes give you a ride back to the crib or to the bus station or somewhere. ICE just drop you off in the middle of nowhere. They don't care. They could care less. And so
And then no, they don't even drop them off. They finish with them and then just put them out. They just like get out.
but let me just say something about this family. I hope they sue the shit out of the Trump administration. I hope they get all the money that they can get for that lady. How scary could that be? Think about it as being a mother. Your entire family is being tear gassed because you're trying to make it home. They came home from a basketball game, wasn't even in the line of fire as far as protesters go. They wasn't trying to protest. These people were trying to make it home, and you tear gas them. They tell you they're trying to make it home. They're not protesting. They're not trying to impede traffic. They're not doing anything but just, trying to make it home, and then you tear gas them. I hope they sue the Ben Crump. Where you at?
That part.
Y'all call Ben Crump.
Hello.
Ben, we calling you.
All right. Well, it's not stopping at the ICE agents. We all know that Trump has basically threatened martial law I'm sorry, not martial law, the Insurrection Act, so that he can send federal troops. And right now, there's alleged to be 1,500 troops on standby. So let's watch this clip.
Right now, we are working to learn more as a U.S. defense official tells CBS News active duty soldiers are on standby for possible deployment to Minnesota. The official says about 1,500 soldiers have been put on standby in Alaska. This comes days after President Donald Trump said he is considering invoking the Insurrection Act, which gives him the authority to deploy armed forces domestically. This also comes as the Minnesota National Guard is mobilized to be on standby as well, but they also have not been deployed. Officials from the Public Safety Department say if they are activated, members will be wearing reflective vests to identify them over other agencies. This comes as the latest CBS News poll shows more than half of people find the shooting of Renee Good not justified. 53% of those responding said that. 28% of those responding say it was justified, and 17% say it's too soon to say. Meanwhile, a second CBS News poll found that more than half of people think ICE operations should be, quote, decreased following recent events in Minneapolis. 53% of people said decreased, a quarter said activity should be increased, and 22% say it shouldn't change at all. Counter-protesters clashed with anti-Muslim and pro-ICE demonstrators in the streets of Minneapolis yesterday. Clashes between the two groups turned violent at times. Our Frankie McLister was there. He has been reporting on ICE activity throughout the state, including in Wilmer, and he joins us right now. Frankie?
Yeah, hi there, Esme. Outside of City Hall and the Federal Courthouse Plaza, right here in downtown Minneapolis, there was a large crowd of counter-protesters facing demonstrators that were also praising ICE. Now, among those praising the federal agency and shouting anti-Muslim slurs was a man named Jake Lang. And Lang was charged for assaulting an officer in the January 6th riot before being pardoned by President Trump. As time passed, they left the city hall and stormed through the downtown streets where the crowd followed. The whole mob then stopped outside of Hotel Indigo, where Lang appeared to run inside the building, bleeding. Minneapolis police later asking the crowd outside of the hotel to clear, and everyone then circled back to City Hall and eventually did just that.
This latest assault of Minneapolis.
I know that's
with
right.
The ICE agents. It's completely insane, and we're hoping that we send a message to the administration.
Be here in America if you're legal. If you're not legal, get work on your citizenship.
Now, Lang posted online that he was stabbed at yesterday's event. Minneapolis police now say that they didn't receive a report of any injuries. MPD does also add that in general, crowds were responsive to their directives. Now, as the federal crackdown continues in Minnesota, many of the headlines have seemed to focus right here on the Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul. But however, greater Minnesota is also feeling the impacts of the immigration crackdown as well. Now, on Friday, we headed 2 hours west of Wilmer, where this video here shows a teen being detained in its downtown last Wednesday. Now, agents in the diverse area of nearly 21,000 also ate at a Mexican restaurant that same day. After eating, they later returned and detained the restaurant's 2 owners and a dishwasher. The owner's 20-year-old son spoke to me. He didn't want to go on camera, but says he opened the restaurant just yesterday under his own leadership. We ran into someone outside who wanted to show the restaurant support.
So I also work at one of the main liquor stores around here, and just in the first few days that this has started, we've lost like 3/4 of our business. People are afraid to come in. If this goes on too much longer, I don't know how they're going to be able to keep paying us.
So Wilmer is not the only spot outside of the metro that we've heard agents be cited. We've received reports as far as up in Detroit Lakes, Melrose, St. Cloud, and down in Rochester as well. Esme?
Thank you so much, Frankie. Well, new this morning, we've learned that the Veteran Affairs Office at the Federal Whipple Building is...
Well, first off, I do notice how their colors are matching ours, so that's kind of cool. But no one thinks that what ICE is doing is popular. They're making these businesses pretty much bankrupt because they're losing all of their business. How is this actually making the public safe? I just don't understand. Can y'all explain to me what is going on? And then also, before we keep moving on, I do want to go ahead and shout some people out who have come in. What's good, my Ty? We also got Mr. LC to you. What's good? Y'all, we have Brad Loving One. We got Optimus. I mean, a lot of people are in the chat right now. So what's good, everybody? TDC 6483. We got Della Wolf Dove. Thank you for being with us today. We have Matt in Ice We Trust. That's an interesting statement. We also have
we have Candy Cane in the house too, so welcome in, Candy Cane. She kind of came in the beginning, right after we got through speaking to everyone. And we also have Miss Clark in the house, so I just want to make sure I recognize those two before you finish up.
And
Chad, go ahead with your people.
Was good. Look, these people, look, you're free to have whatever opinion you want.
Right.
Adios, amigos.
Oh my God.
Okay.
What kind of hairdo is that? Okay.
Hey, Lady T-Bug and Scorpio Mama. Yeah.
Was good. Ice Baby.
Chad.
All right, from just a white boy. Just another white boy. Okay. Brad JZ6. I want Ice to do more.
Wow.
You know. Hey, that's
be careful for what you wish for now.
Hey, because they might who they might do more to might not be the people that you want them to do more to. So you got to be careful. We cannot tell if what spreads on the internet is not bot activity or deep fakes on the news. That's how we're feeling safe. Okay. All right. Well, we got allegedly arcane. What's good? What's good? All right, so let's go ahead and keep it moving. All right, so this
Wait a minute.
was
Let me speak to Nana and Nene. Nana and Nene, what's good? Happy Martin Luther King Day to everybody that's just joining us. If in case you guys came in late, happy Martin Luther King Day. And we also got the literature in the house also. I don't know where his
message
message is
is.
at. Yeah, it's way up there. So
Okay.
AKA CKJ. So welcome in everybody.
Yes, absolutely. And y'all hit the like button if
Welcome,
y'all
welcome.
haven't done so.
Yeah, hit the like button, subscribe to all 3 channels, Meaning with Opinion, aka OTR Live Media, Foxy 2, Roxy 3, and I Said What I Said. If you haven't subscribed to those channels yet, please consider subscribing, especially if you're enjoying the content.
So what do y'all think? Are there going to be federal agents, ICE agents, and National Guard agents all in the streets going at each other? What is this the new America that could potentially arise in the next few weeks or months?
But it's oxymoron. How you gonna have the army against? How you
Child.
gonna have Homeland Security? How you gonna have the National Guard against the ICE agents? And then Agent Orange said if he get too out of hand, he's sending troops out there. So
Yeah.
So it's like a ticking bomb waiting to pop. Everything is like a big boiling pot, and it's boiling and boiling and boiling. And guess why all of this is happening? All of this is because of the damn Epstein files. I guarantee you, all roads lead back to
You mean the Trumpstein
Epstein
files at this point? I don't even
Yeah.
think that we could even call it just the Epstein files without acknowledging Trump
Right.
as being associated with it. So it is officially
Yeah,
the Trumpstein files.
all of this is because of the Trumpstein files. That's all what all of this is. It's Trumpstein.
Right. Trumpstein file and the oil. Power. All
Yeah.
about power.
Yeah.
And his ego.
And his ego, yeah. And I wanted to say something about Garza too. All these Christian nationalists that's so Bible thumping, Beltway Baptists, Southern Baptists, and all these good nice Christians we have that's in MAGA. And they're real concerned about Christianity. However, they're allowing Israel to rain hell on Gaza, which is supposed to be sacred land. And on their sacred land, Agent Orange is trying to build a damn golf course and country club on the sacred land. So let's not forget that that's what the real reason is. Also, it's all about taking land from everybody and trying to get as much power as he can get, and get as much money as he can get. So, but MAGA okay with that. They don't mind being poor while Daddy Trumpstein is being extra rich off of their backs. They could care less about that. But as long as he get the immigrants out the way, that's a quote unquote taking their jobs. But I implore them, I really do implore them to do their research. Immigrants not taking your jobs. It's the damn robots. That's who you ought to be mad at. Because that's technology, AI, and robots, and all of that. That's who's taking your damn job.
That
Okay,
is
ain't the
who the
immigrants.
enemy is. Because at the end of the day, let's be very clear. A lot of these corporations and rich people use immigrant labor to be able to have the lifestyle that they have.
Including Agent Orange.
Right.
Is he going to get them immigrants out of Mar-a-Lago?
These illegals have not done anything. And you have got to be one piss poor, bottom feeding, bottom of the barrel, no hope you having white person if you think that an illegal immigrant is the one that's going to be the person that could potentially take your job, or you know what I'm saying? Like, how bad are you doing to where the illegal immigrant is your enemy? No, that's not the case. So,
But if
They
they're
getting
an
snatched.
immigrant and they're illegal and they can't speak English, are they really taking their job?
no, that's what I'm saying. It's not even a thing. They don't come in contact with illegal immigrants unless they're hiring them to clean their house or do their lawn, or do stupid stuff like that. But these people are not threatened by no illegal immigrants. This is all to fuel their hate, and they really do want to do it to black people. But illegal immigrants is the safest demographic to start with.
Right.
So once they're able to get do what they're doing right now with impunity and everybody's okay with it, then they can move on. But
And then my thing is, you fussing about the illegal immigrants, and then it's supposed to be they bringing drugs into the country, but you just let go of a number one drug dealer back on the street that brought tons and tons of cocaine into the country, and y'all put him back on the street. But you keep saying that you was blowing up the boats and everything for Venezuela to keep the drugs from coming over here. You talking about the immigrants were bringing drugs over here, but yet you just let go of one of the biggest drug dealers to go back on the street. Make that make sense? I'm not understanding.
Let me address this right here. Let me address this right here, right quick, Minion.
hmm
You want to talk about a damn immigrant killing one person? What about all y'all MAGA kids that's going in these schools and murdering people? What about y'all MAGAs going around and KKK and right wing nationalists going around murdering all kind of people? So get the hell out of here with one 16-year-old that's killed. Okay, one person out of 350 million people, and y'all commit more crimes than anybody. Y'all commit more crimes than anybody. Y'all have the
Coming
biggest
to the
pedophile.
country, committing the fucking crime,
Right,
taking over people's land,
right.
kidnapping, killing, raping, pillaging people, and even to the point where when black people were emancipated and were able to start doing things on their own and having their own economy and having their own neighborhoods, y'all couldn't stand it. Y'all had to go into their neighborhoods and destroy what they built. And you have the nerve to try to talk about an illegal immigrant killing one 16-year-old girl.
And let's not forget about January the 6th, all the cops that you killed and try to overthrow the damn government. Let's not forget about that. So you want to know who the real criminals are? Y'all the real criminals. At the end of the day, that Agent Orange pardoned and got out of jail or what have you, and now you're still committing crimes. So get the hell out of here with all of that.
And look, and when we had Black Wall Street, we didn't kill ourselves. We didn't go out there and burn it down. You all came and burned it down.
And who killed Martin Luther King? Who killed Malcolm X? Wasn't the CIA sitting up there taking tabs on both of them? Wasn't they keeping tabs on both of them? Wasn't the government involved in both of their unalivements?
Oh, don't forget about JFK. It started off with him to see how easy that was before they got to them.
So if you have the video of the lady, the teacher, telling ICE, they can't come in, that'll be good. But let's look at this video real quick. I had to remove the music from the background because we ain't want no copyright issues, which who knows, we might still get some, but minimize the risk as much as possible. So I did remove the background music. So let's look at this real quick. And we have to see, is this making America safe again?
Come on.
This was one of those videos from TikTok.
Ooh.
Just basically.
Oh my God!
Look at this. Look at what he's using.
A sledgehammer.
Get out the elevator!
Oh my God.
And this was a great question. Who's next? Who is next? Do y'all think that that's what's making our streets safe again? Like, that's insane.
But I want to say, I want them to show out of all of those clips, which one was illegal immigrants. Remember, that's the ones that they're supposed to be getting out of the country because they're supposed to be, murderers and all this other stuff. Which one of those that just got hurt was illegal? I'll wait.
Well, I know that there's a lot of people who still thinks that what ICE is doing is okay. And that's fine. That's fine. I mean, eventually the tides will turn, but let's look at this happening inside of actual schools now.
Oh my God.
Hey guys, we good? We good, sir? All right, coming in. Okay, nobody made it into this ring, right? Anybody made it into this ring? All right, let's wait real quick. Yes, everybody good? Give me a thumbs up, everybody.
I said no. This is a school. You're not about to harass my students. Get the fuck out of here before I stick my foot in your ass. I'm not playing with you.
Oh.
My bad.
Oh no, you fine. So yeah, play that video.
Play it again, Sam.
No.
Wait a minute.
You are not coming in here.
Ma'am, we just need
I said no. This is a school. You're not about to harass my students. Get the fuck out of here before I stick my foot in your ass. I'm not playing with you.
Love it.
Now that's what they should be doing. But if we go back to this video and I'll start it over, this is, no, we get it where it's at. I can start over because it's at the end. But this is what they're doing.
They're going into school.
Hey guys, we good? We good, sir? All right, coming in. Okay, nobody made it into this ring, right? Anybody made it into this ring? All right, let's wait real quick. Yes, everybody good? Give me a thumbs up, everybody. Everybody give me a thumbs up. Nobody made it in this ring, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Stay where you're at. We're gonna have officers outside, okay? Okay.
A white
Stay
man.
where you're at.
Oh wow.
They gonna have them all go outside one by one to prove who they are.
Yep.
So this is what they're doing inside of school.
Kids.
Not kids.
Just to
So
get to
now-
their parents. Just, all of this is a pretext so they can find out where their parents are. Because anybody know that's a mother, you mess with my child, I'm coming for you. And anybody child that's in harm's way, you're going to do everything you can to protect your child, and they know that. And that's why they're preying up on the poor helpless kids.
Well, now not only have they infiltrated the schools, but they're also infiltrating religious places. Look at this.
David Easterwood is a pastor here. He is also the director of the field office for ICE in St. Paul. So someone who claims to worship God, teaching people in this church about God, is out there overseeing ICE agents. Think about what we've experienced. The murder of Renee Good at the hands of ICE. A Venezuelan national shot by ICE. A 6-month-old baby who almost died as a result of ICE unleashing military-grade weapons on our community. How dare you claim to be a pastor of God and you are involved in evil in our community?
Do you think Jesus would be understanding? We're about worship these folks. We're about spreading the love of Jesus. But did you try to talk to them? No, church had gathered for worship, which we do every Sunday, and we were interrupted by this group of protesters. Yeah. We asked them to leave, and they obviously have not left.
He sounded like he wanted to say something else. y'all saw, they the people are not having it. They're like, you've already infiltrated our streets. You're infiltrating every place that we shop at. Walmart, Home Depot, no place is
Target.
safe. Target, no place is safe to go to anymore.
Well, I want to go back to Jesus.
I want you mean to tell me
I want to go back to this pastor, quote unquote, KKK
and so
member.
and so there's a lot of propaganda. They were up to the right side. We're talking about how these domestic terrorist protesters were going into churches like they were just really, targeting anybody to cause chaos. No, this was actually targeted. They knew where they were going and why they were going there, unlike ICE agents.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, what I want to say is probably the same people that's targeting people right now. I think they probably ancestors of the people that was, because remember they crucified Jesus. Remember when
they
they
sure
nailed
did.
when they nailed Jesus to the cross, they discriminated against him. They talked about him. They crucified him. So
Yeah.
why would the church change? The church has always been violent also. The Christian right churches, they're violent also. And let's do a little background on them. Are their pastors the ones that's being caught up in these pedo rings in the church house? Didn't
A lot
Donald
of them.
Trump's pastor just get arrested
Yeah.
for messing with little kids? That's
A
his
lot of them.
spiritual advisor. His whole spiritual advisor that's up in the White House just got arrested for messing with children.
I'm sure y'all seen that video circulating on Twitter and Instagram of them arresting him.
Right. But I guess that's okay though to do that in the church though. Okay.
Okay.
And if it's Trump.
Yeah. And if it's Trump, if it's Trump, it's right. And so at the end of the day, there's nothing Christian about none of these people that's in a church that's promoting hate, because Jesus didn't promote hate. If you're gonna go by what Jesus say, if you're gonna go by what the Bible say, he didn't discriminate against anybody.
Imagine Jesus coming down here and do you think he would be okay with saying, yeah, kill some more people, get them all out,
All right.
get the illegals out?
All right.
Does that sound like something Jesus would say?
No, not at all.
No.
And Jesus probably
and then letting his agents kill the person
terrorize
execution style in their head and say fucking bitch.
Right.
You think he'll be saying, yeah, he did what he was just training, what his training taught him to do?
Yeah.
Nah.
Well, I want to know how they sleep at night though, playing like they Christians, calling on Jesus' name, doing all of this in the name of Jesus, and I bet Jesus is probably tired of them pimping him for their own personal use, because that's basically what they're doing. They're promoting hate, and they know.
And that's happening in the white and black
Jesus.
churches, just in the
Yeah,
church.
black and white churches. Yeah. But at the end of the day, people know. They know that you can get people when you talk about Jesus. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Any platform that you on, anything that you do, you throw Jesus in the mix, and the masses are coming, because everybody swear that they are Christian. They swear that they are Christian.
Yeah. This is what they do. Praise white Jesus. That's the Jesus that they, not the real Jesus.
Not the real Jew Jesus. They praise the white Jesus.
Yeah. The white Jesus would say, yeah, kill more.
Well, I guess so. I guess if it's a white Jesus, then yeah, I guess it would. I guess it do make sense then. Make it make sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Right. The white
but
Jesus.
They hate immigrants though. But they hate immigrants. But wasn't Jesus, Jesus wasn't really white. Jesus was not right at all.
Yeah, couldn't be. Biologically wasn't possible.
Not at all.
But it says how residents are promoting people to fight back, and it's not in the streets. So let's look at what this clip is going to be giving.
Okay, but let me just say this.
I
think they would deport Jesus if he came back.
Oh yeah, he is illegal. He illegal.
Yeah, Jesus will be
He ain't go through the.
illegal.
Yeah, he ain't go through the process to in the United States. Before this, but you put this. You found this flyer. Where was this? What's this flyer
Yeah,
from?
I found this flyer on Instagram.
Okay, so they're saying an open letter to the people of the United States to ban ICE from our hotels, our restaurants, and our gas stations. No fuel, no food, no shelter. And the nerve of the ICE agents to go to the Mexican restaurant to eat lunch and then come back to scoop them people up, the owners. This is what I'm
that was
saying.
Privilege.
This is what I'm saying. If y'all don't like the immigrants, stay out of their establishments. Don't eat their food. Stick to your boiled chicken and what else they like to eat?
Crepes.
Yeah,
Cucumber sandwiches.
No, they don't even like crepes. That's European.
Oh, that's European. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stick to your cucumber sandwiches. Okay.
Yeah. If y'all want
they don't like the immigrants, but they go
and your broiled chicken with no seasoning.
Right.
Leave our oxtails and shit alone. Leave our fried chicken alone. Leave all our stuff alone. Leave our enchiladas alone. Leave all of that alone.
Stick to your hamburger.
They don't like the immigrants so much. No, they don't like the immigrants so much, but yet they go across the border to get medicine.
Yeah, stick to your raw steak.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all raw bloody steaks.
That's only for the ones that can afford it. But them people, them hillbillies and them trailer park MAGAs,
Yeah, Colonel Sanders white, but he stole the idea from the black people. Black people started frying chicken before Colonel did. So do your history now.
Yeah. Fried chicken even came from black people.
That part.
All right. Hayes County judge speaks on the incompetence of ICE agents. So let's watch this clip and we'll talk about this.
I think outside of a Costco, they beat up a resident trying to take them down because they're so poorly trained. I think it was a group of them trying to take down one worker. It's like, if you're a trained professional, like our local law enforcement is, it should only take one, maybe two of you if the guy was overpowering you in some kind of way. But because of these tactics that they use and this distracted, terrible approach to take someone down that's just trying to move along their day, they're hurting people. And this guy was actually beat up.
What can you tell us about ICE activity in Hayes County today?
So ICE activity in Hayes County today has stirred up a lot of commotion because they are trying to set up shop inside our municipalities in their actual footprints and blur the lines between them and our local folks. And I think that's wrong, that's disingenuous, and that's dangerous.
Exactly.
Our local law enforcement, through all levels and all branches, are great. We know them, we love them. It's these federal goons, and I use that word deliberately, that are coming in here and pretending and posturing and running on coattails, pretending to be credible, trained law enforcement, causing havoc. To prove it, they tried to park in Buda City Hall, and Buda City Hall said, no, thank you, keep moving. And then they came down to Kyle, and at, I think outside of a Costco, they beat up a resident trying to take them down because they're so poorly trained. I think it was a group of them trying to take down one worker. It's like, if you're a trained professional, like our local law enfortement is, it should only take one, maybe two of you if the guy...
Sorry,
Say that one more time, sir. Say that one more time. If you're trained,
you in some kind of way.
you don't need a group of people to take one person down.
One person, unarmed, didn't even know that you was, so they pose no threat because they're not on the defense. You know what I mean? They have these the incompetence
and the scariness.
Well, you saw the other day, Minion, on our last live, you showed a video of them running into a child bicycle and tackling the child. If the police the regular police officers hadn't came there, they would have been, the child was screaming, hollering, telling him, get off me, stop. And they hit the bicycle with a child, then tackled the child, and it was like 3 or 4 of them on a one little child, and that was like 10 or 11 years old. So tell me how that's right.
Because they can't fight. What it is they weak, they're punks, and they can't fight, so they need an army. That's what bullies do. The bullies got to have a gang, right?
That's right.
Because bullies really can't fight. They just bully you. And basically
Jesus
that's what ICE
himself.
is. Huh?
Jesus was by himself against a bully.
All right.
And David, he battled a whole Goliath, a whole giant by himself.
That teacher was by herself when she just cussed them out a while ago.
Right.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. They're they're not really who they, they're strong people because they have weapons. If you put those weapons down, I guarantee you they'll all flock away. They'll all run away. Trust me when I tell you that. Okay, and it shows you how weak they are when they have to have a whole army of people to take one person down.
Exactly. Just imagine how much manpower.
Then you get one person out of the crowd. You get one person out of the crowd to go up and start the trouble.
It shows that it'll take a fraction of trained people to go up against these people. It doesn't even take you don't have to have a one-on-one, the ratio be one-on-one to go against these people. Because not promoting violence or anything, but just to say, if we were in that type of situation, it would be probably easy to take these people down.
Hey.
Oh, so this is a YouTuber, and I just actually came across his video today, actually. But he did pose a really important question, and he laid out what we're experiencing right now and why we could already be in a revolution. So it's kind of interesting. We can look at this and we can pause it throughout so we can talk about it.
Hey, I'm Jason. This is Wrong Enough to Know Better. In this episode, I want to talk about something that I've been hearing a lot more of coming out of the United States. And for the record, it isn't coming from the right. The talk that I'm hearing is coming from the left. And it isn't, we need reform or we need a new party. What I'm hearing from people on the left is that it's time to get violent. And when people start talking like that, it means something important. It means that a line has been crossed in their head. It means that they've stopped seeing politics as something that can work for them and started seeing it as a matter of life or death.
Nah, I'm gonna stop it right there just because isn't that crazy how the left is usually the more composed, peaceful, slow to react. Sometimes they still don't react. Side of the aisle, whereas the right side is definitely more aggressive. I would say probably way more violent prone. And now we have people on the left talking about getting militias and, really figuring out a way to go up against the government because they feel like they're not getting answers from anybody. So this is a different a different Democratic Party.
Well, they said they don't believe it.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
They said they don't, they're trying to get rid of the Constitution because they want to have a lawless country because, the Constitution is not letting them do what they want to do. They want to run around here and cause havoc in the country. And so that's why they're trying to get rid of they want them to get rid of the Constitution. And, and a lot of the federal is through the Constitution. A lot of federal laws are through the Constitution.
Well, I think they're trying to bait people to talk like this All of it is just so that homeboy can declare martial law. That's all that's about. And he just want to put federal troops in every city. And really, it's all. Let's go back. It's all about the Epstein files, and it's all about him. Um, and what he's been doing over the last 60 years. Okay, as a person, and as a person that's not in office, and he's just trying to hide all the Epstein files. He want to make money off of all of this. And let's just keep it real. He's an evil person, and he love to be mean. He love the demagoguery.
And he loves seeing it on
He
TV.
love, yeah,
Like,
he love all of this. He love all of this
and
anger
so
and
does his
hate.
donors. I'm sure. I'm sure they
Yeah,
be looking at it, watching it together.
yeah, yeah.
Be having
Everybody,
a watch
yeah,
party.
they love all of this. And also too, the left is tired of being nice because the left have been playing by the old rules for the longest time. And you can clearly see for the last 25, 30 years, the right has not been playing by the rules. Look at Mitch McConnell when he wouldn't even let Obama put Merrick Garden in as a Supreme Court justice. He let that seat stay open for a whole year and waited for a new president to come in so that Trump could put in Brett Kavanaugh, whoever it was he installed first. And at the end of the day, the right has always, the right stopped playing the rules 25, 30 years ago. Now the Democrats are catching up, and you can't bring a damn knife to a gunfight. Okay, so that's what's going on now with the Democrats.
The frame that I want to put it in. Is revolution coming? Because when regular people start saying violence, that's not protest anymore. That's the sort of thing you hear in a country that's already deep into its own collapse. If you're trying to guess which side makes the first move, the easy answer would be the right wing. Statistically, politically, culturally, the right wing in America is more violent. They talk violent, they act violent, they fantasize violent. So if you're placing bets, you might want to bet on them. But here's the problem with that. The right wing doesn't feel like they're building toward revolution. They feel like they're already winning one. They've got judges, they've got cops, they've got lawmakers, they've got billionaires, they've got propaganda networks, they've got whole state governments they feel like are doing their bidding. So when the right wing talks about taking their country back, what they really mean is tightening the grip on a country they already control. That's not a revolution. That's just power doing what power does.
All right, so I'm gonna stop it right there because that was an important point. I mean, there can be a revolution on their side, really, can there? If there was going to be a revolution, it wouldn't be coming from the right.
All right.
So.
And he just basically said the same thing that I said.
Right. I mean,
you know, they're tired.
And they're
are tired of it.
And he also affirmed that the right side are already more prone to violence. You know what I mean? So, this isn't different for them. This is right up their alley.
Right. Christopher Wray, which was the FBI director when Trump was in office the first time, said that the right wing nationalist movement is the fastest and most violent group in America. So he warned us in 2018 that this was coming up, that they were rising up. And so now, in my opinion, allegedly, that's who ICE is. ICE is all these people that was for January 6th that got a pardon. Part of them is ICE.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Thank you. Allegedly. And also, ICE is, all the groups. All the right wing groups, KKK,
right,
Proud Boys, what other kind of boys or whatever, and they love hiding behind this mask,
Oh,
so
love
you
it.
can't,
They love it.
identify them. Yeah, they love hiding. And if they were so big and bad, I don't understand why they got to have a
What you
mask
gotta
on their
hide
face.
for?
Yeah, you doing something that's so right, and
And righteous,
you
and you
rounding up
making America safe
immigrants.
again.
Yeah, you
You should
rounding
want
up
to be.
criminals. You should
You
want
should
to be
have an
that.
S on your chest. You should
Right.
have your chest sticking out, like you know what you doing is, you know,
And
but you
and
know
and if
what you doing.
if you was doing such a great, if you was doing something that's not illegal or what have you, and you're so proud of it, show your face.
Show your face.
Be loud and proud, because when you're catching, just like Agent Orange trying to get that Nobel Peace Prize, for all the wars and shit that he didn't stop, you know, he's proud of that, and so you should be proud to catch a criminal on the streets, of quote unquote, in y'all words. If they all criminals, you should be a hero, right? And heroes show their face, and they want their recognition.
So why come you walking around with mask on your face, but the regular police officers, Secret Service, DEA, CIA, all these other branches are walking around that with ATF, they walking around with their face showing. So why you can't show yours if you federal and you out here doing the right thing?
Because it's a private militia.
Doing the federal law.
It's a private militia.
You supposed to be on the right side of the law. Why can't, and look, the sheriffs, the state police, the county police, the city police, the town police, all these other officers got to show their face, but you're the only ones that can't show your face. If you're doing the right thing, they doing the right thing.
Let's keep watching.
A revolution is what happens when the people outside the castle decide the castle isn't legitimate anymore. A revolution is what happens when people stop believing the rules are there to protect them, and they're actually there as tools of oppression. So the right can talk like rebels all they want, but if you're already in control of the government, you're not rising up. You're ruling, you're enforcing, you're punishing. That's not a revolution. They've become the system they wanted to overthrow. And this is the part that should worry everyone a little bit. It's that the right thinks they're already winning. They're not going to come at this like a desperate group trying to overthrow something. They're going to come at it like the state does. And the state doesn't fight fair. The state fights with laws, with cages, with guns, with budgets, with labels like criminal, terrorist, and threat. That's how the state talks. Which brings me to the other side, the left. And people need to understand this clearly. The left isn't imagining state violence anymore. It's not theory, it's happening. Look at Minnesota. They've got federal agents killing people, and the federal government is treating it like it's a point of pride, like it's proof they're in control. That changes everything, because once people believe the government is hunting them or targeting them or killing them, you don't get polite politics anymore. You don't get write your senator.
All right, so he about to get into it, but you hear where we going with this, right? Like, do we feel like, is it reasonable to think that there are citizens, even American born citizens out there, who feel like they are being hunted or threatened or targeted? I think it's safe to say that, yeah, there's a large group of people, in fact, that probably feel threatened, intimidated, targeted, hunted. And
Phil.
yeah.
Hell, it's happening. Wasn't Renee Good an American citizen?
Well,
Yeah.
that too. But I mean, even the ones who we haven't even experienced it in our cities yet, right?
Right.
Even even us, are
Yeah.
those people feel
Everybody feel attacked.
right?
So
Right.
he's absolutely right. Yeah, people do feel attacked. They feel like the government is attacking them. And there's some, unfortunately, I wish they wouldn't buy the bait, but they're taking the bait. Because this is what Agent Orange want. He want a civil war. Some of these MAGA people want a civil war. They want this to happen. And he's, in my opinion, like I said, once again, he's doing all of this to bait the people in. He want everybody to retaliate so that he can, declare martial law. That's what the end game is. And if you declare martial law, that keeps that
No more
you got
election.
no more elections. And even he's saying, even on the campaign trail, he told the conservatives, all you have to do is vote for me one more time, and then we won't have no more
That's
elections.
it. He said that's it. Just one more time.
Just one more time. You just need to vote one more time, and there'll never be no more elections. He just said it a month or two ago. He told the Republicans, if you do what I tell you to do, if you get rid of the filibuster, we can pass all the laws that we want to pass, and we don't have to worry about having no more elections anymore.
Right.
So that's
and
the
remember
end
he
goal.
told them,
Is
he
to
said they're
get
trying
rid.
to.
His words, not mine. Go
He
ahead,
did say he did say that he wanted to, they were going to impeach him, so he wants to keep from being impeached. He wants them to, vote against them trying to impeach him so he can remain president. He wants to be king. That's all it is. He's showing it that he's talking about kings. He's talking about, taking over the countries, all these different countries. He's already said he's the president of Venezuela. Now he's trying to be the president of Greenland. He wants to be the president of, he wants to be in charge of everywhere. He wants to be that big time king. And the people are drinking the Kool-Aid because they're like, okay, yeah, go after him. You don't realize he'll cut off your nose despite your face because he's not looking out for you at all.
At all.
You get survival thinking. Let me be clear about this. This isn't a study. It's not empirical evidence. It's just what I'm seeing. Over the last couple of weeks, I've seen a major shift in tone from the left, and less talk about paperwork solutions, things like the courts will fix it, and way more talk about violent upheaval, more than I have ever heard in my entire life. I'm telling you this because when people start talking like that, it means they no longer see themselves as living in a viable state. They don't believe that it can. Hey, I'm Jason.
What the hell?
This is. I'm telling you this because when people start talking like that, it means they no longer see themselves as living in a viable state. They don't believe that it can be fixed. They don't believe that it's listening to their needs. And they don't believe it deserves their cooperation anymore. That is the language of revolution. It's not just the people already getting hit. Some blue states have barely been attacked yet. They're half living in that this can't happen here fantasy. But they feel it. They're watching what's happening to the first targets, and they know exactly what it means. They know somebody in Washington is making lists, and sooner or later, their state is going to be the top of that list. So they're not just building anger now, they're building anticipation. And that's a big deal because fear makes people organize, and fear makes people strike first. Let's talk about what actually triggers revolutions historically, because people picture revolutions wrong. They picture a dramatic speech, flags waving, everybody unified, but that's not how it goes. Revolutions start when people stop believing the system is legitimate anymore, when government can't do basic management anymore, when normal life becomes unaffordable, when rules only exist for poor people, and when state violence becomes normal under the guise of maintaining order. So you want a number that makes this real? Hundreds of thousands of Americans are homeless. A lot of them are sleeping in tents and vehicles. That is not a healthy country. That is a recipe for a revolution. And if you want the cleanest historical parallel, you look at the French Revolution. It started with bread. Bread got too expensive. People couldn't afford to eat. And the leaders didn't care. Or worse, they acted like the public was the problem. That's the part that Americans need to understand. Revolutions don't start with slogans. They start when daily life becomes impossible and leaders treat suffering like it's a personal failure. And in the United States today, bread is housing, bread is food, bread is healthcare. Bread is working a full-time job and still living one missed paycheck away from disaster. And while people are drowning, politicians keep getting wealthier. Which brings us to the part that nobody really wants to admit. This isn't just a Republican problem. This isn't just a Democrat problem. It's that both parties have abandoned working people for decades now. One side abandoned them loudly and with cruelty, and the other side abandoned them politely and with excuses. But either way, the end.
Maybe it just stop. But I mean, that's pretty much the gist. I don't know why.
I can see that, and what he said, that last part, both sides, one is more violent, the other one is politely. I can see that. The Democrats could do more. The Republicans can go, can change up the way they are, but right now they're getting more violent. When he got in office the first time, I was like, can we bring Bush Jr. back? At least we was decent. Everybody was still, okay. We won't have these kind of wars within cities. But now, this is what we got.
Yeah, I mean, and to that point, we got this, and people are reacting to what we got, and that's all we really can do is react to what we got. And I don't think that the people, for the majority, of us, like what we see, and this isn't making us believe in the government. This isn't making us think that he's making America great again. In fact, it's just doing the opposite. Not only is it making us realize how much of a shithole the entire country is,
right?
But all the other countries are looking at us like, how the fuck did we even buy into this shit? Like, we need to figure out something else because America is just not the place to secure. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not the place anymore.
Well, it's not the white lie that we've told ourselves, because
Right.
remember, we were the superpower. We were, ahead of all the technology. We're the shit according to us and other countries. They thought we were, and I
And we were
wholeheartedly
up until he got
right.
into this last term. We really were.
Right. And I wholeheartedly agree with that man. The Democrats have failed us. They have been giving us broken promises, and like he said, they're just doing it in a nice way and with excuses, and the right just doing it and being as mean and hateful as they can, and that's what make them look like they're more demonizing people. because of the hatred that they have and the hatred that they spew out. But basically, both parties have failed us and have failed us for a long ass time. And so the people are tired. And like he said,
Oh, you cut off?
I don't know
You cut.
why. I don't know why I keep turning off. But revolutions start when people give up hope. And when you have nothing else to lose, when you feel like you're in a position and you have nothing else to lose, then yes, you will do anything.
You feel like your back is against the wall, and I mean, if
Yeah.
you don't do anything, it's gonna be bleak. At least if you try to do something, you might have at least some kind of control over, what your future holds. But right now, people are feeling like if they don't do anything, they're A, gonna be next,
Right.
and B, who knows what extreme levels they'll be at by the time they get to you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hmm
you
And I
just
and I
can't.
and I don't believe in, they're always saying that the left can't market themselves. They don't know how to get their messaging out. They don't know how to get their words out. Well, apparently they do, because if they can get elected to office, don't tell me they can't market a message. They
Right.
don't want to market a message, because at the end of the day, every person that's in office that's a Democrat should be on these TV stations, the news should be inundated with nothing but Epstein files and all the atrocities that Agent Orange is committing while he's in office. Every crime that he commit, it should be splattered all over the news, all over social media. And even if the news is turning right winged and trying to give you propaganda, well, you got other ways
Outlets like
and
YouTube,
other outlets to get your
TikTok.
message out. Right.
Right.
Just like you can go get elected for office, you can go out and tell the message of what's really going on with the American public. And the Democrats kind of make me mad because they want to be politically correct.
But like you said, ain't no more polite politics. Those days, for right now, are over. But like we were talking about earlier, it's really because both parties have the same donors. You know what I mean? APAC funds both parties, and they're beholden to who gives them the pay, who cuts the check for them. You
Right.
know.
They're beholden to their donors.
It's about the Benjamins and the power. That's all it is, Benjamin and the power. And I still to the day
And all roads lead to Epstein. Don't forget that.
right. And then I still to the day cannot understand even why every time they have a federal shutdown, they still get paid. Everybody else don't get paid.
Well,
and everybody else losing insurance, and they're gonna keep their good old good insurance. You rest assured that. And we paying for them, to capitalize off of us and to rain hell on us.
Right. And then when they leave office, they still got insurance. We leave our jobs, we ain't got no insurance.
Well, let's look at what MAGA is saying about Renee Good. We got a couple more
Lord.
videos.
Look,
you can protest, but you don't get in their faces. You don't put your hand out like that, pointing on them. Consequences.
Did you not see the part where he is kicking the candles at a Renee Good memorial site?
He's maybe trying to get that guy to back up to get out of there. Maybe they weren't even supposed to be there.
He is destroying a memorial to a woman who was just murdered by ICE.
You know what I find
Why would he do that?
I have no idea.
Because he's an asshole. Because it's them versus us now, in their minds too.
I don't see it that way.
Why would he destroy? Mom, that is a memorial that citizens
Here's what I find a little.
No, hang on. Answer that question. Why would this ICE officer have destroyed a memorial that no one's causing
The
trouble?
only way that guy could have been kicking that to get it out of the way is to push that one guy back. But if he did kick it, that was not nice.
If he did kick
that
it,
was
you
not
just saw him
nice.
kick it.
Yeah, I mean, when he kicked it, I shouldn't have said if. When he did, he was maybe trying to push that guy back. It wasn't nice, I'm sure. But you know what? A lot of unnice things are happening right now in our country. So what I'm trying to tell the citizens that are getting in the way of ICE, the illegals that are getting in the way of ICE, you need to step back. It's going to get ugly. It's not going to get any better.
They've shot 2 people. They killed 1.
Well,
what we're watching is Nazi troops walking through our street. And every American now, if this starts popping off in your city like it is doing in Minnesota right now, every American has to ask themselves the question, what would you have done in Nazi Germany? Would you let the Nazis take the Jews, or would you fight? We are now starting to fight. That's what we're seeing here. And mostly that fight is coming in documentation of what's happening. People taking video, like you're saying, why would you be out there? If they're in your streets, you better stay inside and be scared, because people aren't scared and people recognize what's happening, and they are putting videos of it all over the internet. And you don't see these videos.
And they're putting their lives in danger too.
Yes, you have to fight against this shit.
I know. Dad and I said if there was ever a civil war, we would fight. We would fight for the side that we believed we should be on.
Okay. Dad's not going to fight for anything. Dad's going to be fighting for his chair. That's the only place he's going to be.
Hello. That he stays in all day.
Right, right.
Oh, even
and then he told her she ain't gonna fight, and he told her she ain't gonna do nothing either.
All right.
But look,
Dad ain't gonna fight for nothing. He's gonna be fighting for the chair.
But this what you call. But this what you call drunk on MAGA.
Cult. That's what you call cult behavior, cult mindset. These people are in a cult, and I don't care how many. I mean, if anybody is the domestic terrorist, it's obviously ICE and these people that support them. Those are, because guess what? Do you think that the people that support ICE wouldn't put their dumb ass out there and violently assault one of these people who they assume to be illegal immigrants? And really, they don't even have to assume that the person's a legal immigrant. As long as you black or brown, they could always make that assertion that they thought you was an illegal. But do you think they wouldn't, show their violence towards these people? So in my book, they're breeding domestic terrorism in the MAGA people, if you ask me. And
I agree.
And I feel like the ICE squad, that's who they are pandering to join ICE. They're gonna pay these people to be domestic terrorists and give them impunity or give them
qualified
immunity.
No, let's get it correct. They said total immunity. They didn't say qualified. They said
that's what JD Vance said.
And Christy Nome said it too. On one of hers, she was talking about they have total immunity. It's not total immunity. They have qualified immunity, and they keep telling them that, and that's why they're going buck wild the way they are, because they feel like I got total immunity and I can do what I want to do.
And they
I feel like
it's a reason.
I feel like it's a dog whistle so that
exactly.
Agent Orange can go ahead and pardon everybody. And they better hope he got all their names on the list, and they better hope this shit work out well, because he's very retaliatory.
And if you don't get what he want out of it, you won't get what you want out of it.
Right. He will retaliate if they're not doing it. If they're not dotting those I's and crossing those T's the way that he wants them to, then they better watch out. They better hope and pray that he put them on the pardon list, because guess what? Rudy Giuliani did not get a pardon. He broke right today because he didn't get no pardon. Mark Meadows did not get a pardon. He was the chief of staff in the last administration. So everybody don't get no pardon just because you act like you on his side, and you running his water back and forth doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to give you the same support. He's not going to stick with you the way he require that you have total loyalty to him, but he only have to be loyal to the people that he want to be loyal to. He's not gonna. That doesn't mean that he's gonna be totally loyal to you. And Christy Gnomes, baby, you better go ahead and put your resignation in, because I think it's a target on your back, Christy. I think he's gonna leave her out there in the wilderness, is what I feel like, because she's bringing him a bunch of bad negative press, and he don't like that, and it's already been rumored that he want to replace her with Glenn Youngkin, and that's just a rumor. It's nothing factual, but it's a rumor, and that's
Allegedly.
what
I don't think that's
allegedly.
gonna happen though.
I
I
think
think
he's
he
going to get rid of her
actually,
because she's bringing him too much negative press. And don't get me wrong, he want this done, but he don't want it to look like he don't want 50.
yes,
What
he
was that?
do.
53, 54% of the
I think
public.
he miscalculating.
You think I'm
I
miscalculating?
think he
Okay.
miscalculating because I think the reason why she is so brazen and when she talks about these average Americans being domestic terrorists and how she stands in front of this sign that says one of us, all of you, or all of them, you know, they know exactly, they know the image that they're trying to push, which is to put fear in these people so that they can self-deport, is what they're saying. But they also want to let the people, the regular public, know that if you are with them, you will be taken out as well. And so I feel like he likes this, like we was talking about them sitting back, because they, Ice has immunity. He has immunity. What can y'all do but not like it? That's all. That's all. You can do is not like it, because it's gonna happen regardless. He don't need you to like it. What he needs you to do is get upset, as upset as you possibly can, and go out into the streets so he can go ahead and uh call the martial law thing. That's what he wants. So what Christy Nome is doing is right on par and aligned with what the agenda is.
And I agree with you. It is the agenda, but keep in mind who we're talking about. He petty, 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 petty. And I'm telling you, if she made one wrong move, she's out of there and she's not gonna get a pardon. You watch and see.
The only way to keep her job safe though is she has to continue doing like she doing, doubling down every time she gets on, and she has mastered the art of switching it around. You can't change the facts just because you don't like them. No, man, we just saw the damn video footage that doesn't align with anything that just came out of your mouth. You are the one making up the facts, but she can say it. It's like effortlessly. Like
Yeah.
they probably have done this. They probably been in some type of camp where they went through some type of training so that they
This
can
is
learn
who
how to
they
do
are.
this.
They don't have no camp. This is who they are. This is how they was raised, and this is who they are. They're not new to the game, baby. They true to the game. Okay, so keep in mind she was a senator. She was a in the House of Representatives before. So she's been in government, or either she. I don't know if she was. I don't know if she was in the House or the Senate, but she was in one of those chambers before. So line just come naturally to her because when you're a politician, you naturally lie. You can roll a lie off your tongue like it's nothing.
Right.
And I'm sorry, but all of them lie. They have to.
That part. That part.
Well, let's finish off, y'all, with this Tyson beef plant. The
Oh
largest
Lord.
employer in Lexington, Nebraska, plans to lay off 3,200 workers. Lord Jesus.
Wow.
Because they were heartbroken. They don't want to go anywhere. This is their home.
The Tyson plant gave us notice of a layoff procedure warn notice over a week ago. They'll be closing their facility as of January 20th, impacting 3,200 individuals for the community of Lexington. The general mood of the individuals coming in for our services, of course, is anxiety. What do I do next? Will I have a job? Where do I go? And what do I do from here? Tyson workers make up about 3,200 of the population of 11,000 of Lexington. And so they have a great impact upon the culture, schools, and everything that a community is comprised of.
We just hardworking people. What we do is go to work, come to church. That's all we do here.
These plants have been underutilized, and we have a shortage of cattle out there in the U.S., and because of that, very vulnerable that somebody might shut down. We have a very strong community in Lexington that really is close-knit and very accepting of the packing industry as well as all industries.
Okay.
Well, it's good to know that they're close knit because they're gonna need to lean and depend on each other to eat, and possibly maybe need to borrow some electricity from each other and water. They're gonna have what's those what you call them, those extension cords that the construction people would use. What are those extension cords called? You know what I'm talking about? The long orange extension cord that you use.
Yeah, I got one, but I don't
Yeah,
know it.
they're gonna be extension cording from house to house. Um,
Industrial.
industrial, yeah, industrial extension cords. They're gonna be. I'm glad that they are a tight knit community because they're gonna have to lean and depend on each other. 11,000 people
60% of the
in a
public
community that's
voted
in
for
the
Trump.
community. Yeah, and you got 3,200. That's almost half of the people in the community.
Exactly. And then they said there was a shortage of the beef, but that's because of the farmers. A lot of the farmers are losing their farm, and most of them farm beef, chickens, different meats
It just
farms.
goes to show that the people who voted for him is still not his priority. He don't
Mm-mm.
give a damn. You're only as good as what he needs you for. He
Hmm.
needed y'all for this last time to vote, and
Right.
after that, with what he's doing, the agenda he's trying to push right now, he's definitely moving towards no elections in 2028.
No elections and two classes. Either you extra rich or you're poor.
Are you dirt poor?
Or you're dirt poor. That's what he's moving to.
And so all these people who in MAGA who think that they gonna have a seat at the table or a ticket inside, no ma'am. It's, you're gonna be in for a rude awakening, but it's gonna be the funniest thing. So I'm just waiting for it to happen. But hopefully, with this revolution talk, we may not get there. I don't know.
Well, I hope like hell we don't have a revolution. I really do not want to see a civil war. I don't want to see a revolution. I just want, like he said, regime change. We need to change
Regime
our
change.
regime. That's
That's
what we
right.
need to do.
Right. And then they were saying the meat, that's the meat market. Okay, so if the animals are not getting the grain because the farmers can't farm the grain to feed the animals, or the food for the animals, and they can't farm it to give it to them, then of course you're not going to have the meats because they can't grow. Nothing is growing. So you're sitting back and you're cutting off your foot because you're sitting back saying, yeah, 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 but you're losing money. You are not understanding. You all are losing money. That's just one place that's closing down. Imagine how many more is going to be closing down. And I want to see if you're going to be singing have that same energy you got now, saying, oh, yeah, he's great. This going. And when you sit back and you don't know where you're going to have your next meal from.
And
They
you know what?
understand.
It's so funny because go
But
ahead.
hold on one sec, Minion. They understand, but it's all about let's just demonize the left. And so it's more important to them to watch a different political party not be in charge and go down than it is for their own livelihood. So make sense.
And then on top of that, like, is this comment is the perfect example of why MAGA is a cult. Because y'all, it's crazy. Y'all in America and you're praying for America's downfall. No, if you voted for MAGA, you voted for America's downfall. This is not a result of prayers or even cheerleading for America's downfall, because guess what? We are cartoons on your TV or phone screen. We're not even real people. But you know what is real? All the wars that he's starting. What is real is the 3,200 jobs that are being lost by Tyson. What is real is the man losing his eye because of ICE incompetent, untrained agent that was given a badge and 50,000 extra dollars to round up anybody who is black or brown. No, those are the real things that are happening, and those are the things that you guys voted for. So
And
if
Renee
anybody,
Good, don't forget about her.
and it's assassination. Y'all call it a murder. I call it an assassination of Renee Good. Point blank to her face. and two to the side of her body. Come on now. Is this what you wanted for
And don't
America?
forget about Porter, Keith Porter. They got him too. So we just don't talk
Oh,
about
the
him.
list goes on. This is only a fraction of what has occurred just within the last few weeks. So if we're going to talk about people talking about the downfall of their own country, no, it's people like you who are the reason for the downfall of the country, because you guys voted for this. And not only did you vote for it, you're still standing 10 toes down, doubling down on what is going on.
Just because they can't admit that they made a mistake.
Meanwhile, NATO, the European allies, and all of the people across the globe are figuring out ways to disconnect from the United States economically, in trade, services, everything.
Security.
So if you think that us talking real life and bringing it on this show is us praying for the downfall of America, then you are the problem and you are the reason why America will fall. If there's more people like you.
And they got to remember you got to remember, y'all talking about the trade. A lot of the iPhones that y'all love so much, the Apple phones, the iPhones, you do know that the parts are coming from overseas, right?
If you go to work,
parts start coming
you
from
won't
overseas,
have.
you won't be getting no more upgraded iPhones.
First off, half these Nimrods don't even know how to use their phones. They just get them because they were told that it was the latest thing to do. So these are all sheeple. These people don't have brains of their own. They do what the mass tell them to do. They do what mainstream media tells them to do. And it's evident in, again, this same person's comment where he says, if you go to work, you want. I think he meant won't, but it's usually MAGA who, can't spell, read, or write, have to worry about where your next meal come from. Meanwhile, we just actually showed a video of 3,200 employees being laid off.
And we done lost over 1 million jobs in the first year of this administration.
Yeah, it's just
hospitals
and they
gone.
was going to work.
Clinics gone.
No, they was going to work. No,
they was going to work to try to feed their family, because they were pulling themselves up by the bootstraps. And at the end of the day,
exactly.
This is like Nazi Germany. He's pulling the playbook from Hitler all day long. They got Hitler propaganda on the .gov sites. They got the Confederate flag all on the government websites. And I guess they'll realize when their families are in a concentration camp. I guess when everybody go to a concentration camp, that's when everybody gonna figure it out.
Well, like
allegedly,
or they start losing their land and their money. Then they start
already
saying,
doing that. They already doing that.
For.
Farmers are already losing their farms and their lands so that J.D. Vance and the Afrikaners can take over. J.D. Vance buying up so many farms, he just laughing all the way to the bank.
Oh, and let's not forget Bill Gates, who is the largest purchaser of private real estate in America. So, I mean, there's that too.
And we're giving money to other countries. We giving money to Argentina, but you're not giving money to your United States, but you giving our money to Argentina.
Yeah, everybody
make that
comes
make sense.
Before, all the other countries come before America. Like, we don't even get health care. In fact, the little that they did give us towards our health care, they took that away. So, I mean, we still get crumbs. And then they, not even crumbs anymore. Like I said, they took away the little that they were given to subsidize the low income families. Now you got to just figure it out and fend for yourself.
who MAGA was
While
we'll give
who
billions.
the biggest recipients of subsidies is MAGA.
But we'll send billions to what's the countries that we've been sending money to? 40 billion. Look, this is what she said.
Argentina.
Argentina.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. And now we want to buy Greenland and we want to buy Greenland so bad.
And don't forget Agent Orange got money in Qatar now. Don't forget that.
We want to buy Greenland so bad that we imposing tariffs on the 8 different countries that are opposing the purchase. So I mean, this is crazy.
And put y'all passports up because you ain't gonna be able to travel nowhere either. Cause travel bans. We got travel bans on everybody, but guess what? Everybody got travel bans on us too. They say don't even come over there trying to visit none of they land. So stay at home.
And Greenland,
Canada got free. They got free health insurance. Greenland got free health insurance.
I was just about to say,
Mexico
you got free health insurance, free education. They like
right, and we sitting over here charging for everything.
Right. Now, ain't that crazy?
We do free.
Ain't that crazy though that we got so much money that we willing to go buy Greenland?
Mm-hmm.
Greenland, this little small country, and they can still afford to give all of their residents free health care, free education.
Do we still have that clip of that lady from Greenland who said that she wouldn't even want to be in? Greenland wouldn't even take their $100,000.
Yes, let me
please play that clip. Play that clip for the people. Roll that good bean footage. Tell you how much Greenland want to be a part of the United States.
Let me find this video.
I don't even know why we didn't even put that in our presentation, and I meant to tell you that.
I know. We definitely should have.
Yeah, because Greenland don't want to be a part of the United States, and the United States already had bases over there and was doing everything.
And they said they are willing. They said, now look, we are willing to work with y'all. We will let y'all bring more bases. You could, whatever you need, but we're not selling Greenland. And my thing is that should be good enough. Because why, if they're willing to give, why do we need to buy Greenland? Can we buy our own residents health care and educations? This work.
Remember, they stopped them from getting medication from Canada because the medication was cheaper. They were stopping. People are going across the Mexico border. Now you don't want them to come across our border, but we going across their border to get their medication because the prices here so high. So that when she closed the gate, the president of Mexico closed the gate. Everybody was upset. They wasn't upset that they closed the gate that we couldn't go. Them coming over here. They was upset because people couldn't go over there and get their medication because they've been getting their medication from there.
Yeah, and Mexico.
So now
said
all of a sudden,
Yeah, Mexico said don't come over there either. Over there enjoying their margaritas and shit.
Right.
Yeah, I don't even know what this damn video is. Of course not. I'm trying to find it. But you want to know what? While I look for it, I want us to. I'm going to play this.
Okay.
Came to this interview on my free will. No, there was nothing promised to me for doing this interview.
Excellent.
Yes, everything that I say at this interview will be the truth. I met Donald Trump at some parties I attend that I was working for Mr. Jeffrey Epstein. There was about 3 or 4 times that I had encounters with Donald Trump. I was 13. The first time that I met Donald Trump was at a party at Jeffrey Epstein's mansion. There was an orgy going on, and he was kind of watching off in the distance. And he basically asked if I could come over and give him a hand job. And At first, I wasn't very comfortable with it. This was like my first or second, first party, and I didn't, I didn't think that was my responsibility. But my recruiter told me that I needed to do it, so I agreed to. And then he, I began to. Sorry, this is a little difficult, but. Before I gave him a hand job, he kind of slapped my hand away and said, you need to use a glove. And the recruiter ran over and handed me a glove and said, no one touches Mr. Trump's penis without a glove. So I needed to use a glove. I gave him a hand job, and then immediately after, he had an orgasm, he left, and I didn't see him again at that party. Jeffrey Epstein is a billionaire friend of Donald Trump's that was responsible for throwing the sex parties. There was, I originally came to New York trying to be a model, and in my travels,
All right, so that was, a little snippet of what what was said about what was accused Donald Trump was accused of. And the crazy thing is, if y'all go, that video was circulating on social media. I found it on X. But if you listen to the entire thing, she says that he was attracted to her because she reminded him of his daughter, who was also 13 at the time. And so they actually on the post.
You mean the daughter? You mean the daughter that he said that he would date if she wasn't his daughter?
I mean this daughter.
Yeah, the one that he said that she's so beautiful, and if she wasn't his daughter, he would be dating her.
Right.
Cause she his type.
Right.
Right, that part.
Exactly. And yeah, so he knew her age, and he said, "No, I think there was also an image. Let me see if okay, so this is the alleged girl, and this is his daughter."
Wow.
Oh, she do look a lot like her.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's what made me feel like this story may have a few legs to it.
Well, also these documents right here kind of help out too.
Well, yeah, and the fact that it was actually something that showed up in the court case. So yeah,
Interesting. As they say, interesting.
But I mean, people will make up their own name. Oh, I found it too. But you found it?
Yes, and on private chat.
But people will come up with their own conclusions. It's like, it's fake. It's fake. Anytime you have any type of evidence, it's all fake news and it's all AI and it's wrong and we're full of crap. And anytime you bring any facts, to the light, then MAGA, they can't believe that, because when you're in a cult mindset, you can't believe what's real and what's not.
Right.
And so of course you're gonna dispute it. Of course you're gonna make hay of it or what have you. And of course it's fake news, but this is documents that's filed in the courthouse about the things that he's done. But she part of the reason why we're going through what we're going through now.
Right.
Okay.
And
because all roads lead back to what?
Trumpstein files. I found the video on YouTube, so let's look. And this is off Hook Global, and all the other content. We definitely want to make sure that you guys. I should have been shouting those people out, but you guys can see where we're getting the content. Usually, it's on the content itself. But y'all are more than welcome to go look at the interview yourselves on the actual channel.
Can
y'all hear that?
We don't really value cash and Kardashian lips and fake
Yeah,
boobs
yeah,
and
we
stuff
can
like that
hear it.
very
Hold
highly.
on a second.
Actually, you
Pause it
cannot
for a
even
sec.
own land in Greenland.
Now, this is a politician from Greenland. Just to give you an introduction of who this lady is, she's a politician, so she knows exactly what she's talking about. It's not just a resident or, a citizen of Greenland. She's an actual politician.
Let me start it over.
So I think Trump doesn't know about Greenlandic people. We don't really value cash and Kardashian lips and fake boobs and stuff like that very highly. Actually, you cannot even own land in Greenland. You can get an allotment for your house and then you own the house on top of the land. But Greenlanders don't believe in the land is for one person, is for everyone. And so is the seas, like the riches that we have there. So it's a big miscalculation that he thinks that Greenlanders would be incited by cash or something like that. We're not. And even if you were to say like $100,000 per person or something like that, we wouldn't give up free healthcare. We wouldn't give up free education. We wouldn't give up being a part of Europe. We wouldn't give up on our sovereignty eventually. And we're a very sovereign people within the Kingdom of Denmark. We're autonomous right now. We do not want to be rich like the Americans are. See how greedy they are. They're even trying to shoot their friends or invade their friends just for greed. And we know that there's minerals and oils possibly in our underground, and that's worth so much more even than that. But even if we didn't have that, we would still not be bought.
This is the 1,400 hours a year you waste.
Oh yeah, so yeah, this is the actual website. So we got the commercials going, but
everyone here knows about the Inuit in Alaska and all of the native tribes, Indians, American.
Yeah, y'all do what they say right here. Tap subscribe right now, and let's keep it. So they not like the Kardashians. They don't excite them. They don't motivate them. They don't care about trying to build.
Botox.
Yeah.
Them her lips.
And living right. See, that's what they be paying for, to get lips like that. But
yeah, Caroline Levitt. See, there's some real lips right there, Caroline. She ain't got no needle holes in her lips, Caroline.
She ain't gotta go to the tanning salon to get this color.
She ain't gotta go get no tan. She ain't gotta pay no money. Them her cheeks, them her lips, them her teeth. All of that is her.
And see, they like, we don't need that. But and they also don't, obviously they don't need no LV. They don't need no Lamborghinis, no mansions. They don't need all that. They are good with being just regular,
everyday people,
everyday folk.
And she said we was greedy.
She called us greedy.
Yeah, she making me feel bad about myself, okay? To be in so many ways, this woman making us feel bad about ourselves.
She very politely putting us in our place.
Baby, she breaking us all the way down. You hear me?
All the way greedy, down. And we going after each other because we so greedy.
We're going with our own friends just in the name of greed.
And this show you how smart, Agent Orange is. This lady said that they don't even own their own land. So the $100,000 wouldn't even, suit them, benefit them, because they don't own the land themselves. They own their houses, but they don't ever own the land. And America might as well say the same thing, because hell, we don't really own our land either. They say we own our land, but as soon as you pay for it, you got to pay taxes. So hell, do you really own your own land?
Right. No, you don't.
That part.
You can't even pass it down. If if your kids don't continue paying the taxes on it, guess what? It's still the government gonna take it. So
Indians who are there, their land was taken from them, and they haven't been treated that well in America. And we know that Trump is very much surrounding himself, at least with the white power people. And we are not white, as you can see. We are of color. And so we know our rights probably would be taken away.
Damn.
And that's another reason why he targeting them. They're not white people. So, because he showed he ain't said nothing about Swiss savvy. I ain't heard her
No,
say nothing about trying to go over there and get Switzerland.
nope. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Look, as Florida Evans used to say, damn, damn, damn.
And put this comment up about this person right here. All this time, Russia and China ain't took over Greenland. Now all of a sudden, because Trump said he won't buy it, oh, now it's up for grabs for everybody to take. Now that's
If
what's
you
propaganda.
notice, it's definitely propaganda because even Steve, is it Steve Bannon? No, not Steve Bannon. Scott Bassett.
Oh, Scott,
Um,
listen.
he he even keeps saying, it may not be next year, it may not be 5 years, but soon down the line. Like, come on now, it's propaganda. That is complete and utter 100% propaganda that China or Russia is now the threat. You know what I'm saying? Like to our national security because we don't own Greenland. Like it's absurd.
Wait a minute. They were saying the same thing about Venezuela. Remember, they said Russia and China are going to take over the oil in Venezuela if we don't take it first.
Well, they can't take it if we continue.
He's fear-mongering.
But if we continue to protect them with NATO, then we don't have to worry about nobody coming in and get them. And that's what NATO said. F around and find out if you want to, Trump Steen. F around and find out. Come on over here if you want to come.
Well, wait a minute. You got to remember now, they have 4 military bases. They ain't got but one there from the United States. So now they bringing over other bases, people from other bases of other countries. We got one out of all of theirs. And then you already putting your military in Minnesota, putting some of your military in Minnesota, and you got some overseas. You got some in Venezuela. So you kind of thinning out your military.
That's true.
And we also know that we're very good as we are together with Denmark. As mentioned before, we have free healthcare, we have free study. Whatever you want to study, you can do that for free. And actually, government will give you money to study. So while you're studying, you're getting a grant from your government. So all of that we wouldn't trade for, like the welfare state. We wouldn't trade for anything in America. But also, you have to remember, a lot of Greenlanders have family, like their mother or father or grandmother or grandfather who's Danish. We do have a 400 years history together or more in terms of being interconnected in that way. So, and we're also seeing a lot of protests in America right now that is unsettling with the ICE agents who are sort of going after a lot of people. And from here, it looks like maybe he's going a lot after brown people. And we are considered brown people, as you can see.
Well, that's the politician of Greenland basically saying that she sees the racism loud and clear. Not that. But yes, these people are basically, and if she sees it, it has to be glaringly obvious to everybody else in all these other countries who are looking at us and what's going on with ICE right now. And they all know that it is a white supremacist movement. I wouldn't say a Christian nationalist, nothing, because ain't shit about this Christian.
Listen,
Yeah.
Linda. Listen, Linda.
Yeah.
She see it. President Xi. Putin see it. King Charles see it.
Ray Charles see it.
Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder, everybody see this shit. What's going on here? Okay, Macron see it. Every other country is watching America go down and go down this rabbit hole, and go and watching us slipping into this dictatorship and fascism. They see us going into all of that.
Exactly. They're going into all of this, and they said, why should we come over here? And they was talking about, at one time with the federal government in the United States, we were worrying about terrorist cells. They said we ain't got to worry about the terrorist cells. Y'all over here doing it for us. So we just sit back and wait till you finish destroying each other, and just let us know when you finish, and then we'll see what's left.
And can you put that comment back up? Because I think that another thing, especially when you're in spaces like YouTube, Especially with us knowing what we're talking about, we kind of expect and know what we're going to be dealing with, right? We
Mm-hmm.
know we're going to deal with MAGA people. And I think that trying to close yourself off to in a silo where you only hear things that you want to hear, and you create an echo chamber that only where you're only listening to things that
Mm-hmm.
align with your beliefs is not the place that we need to be in right now. I think we need to see we need everyone to see these people put their full racism on full
Display.
display.
Mm-hmm.
Um because this is America. There's no getting around it. We don't need to try to shelter ourselves from what is going to eventually hit your front door.
Exactly. Sooner or later.
Exactly.
So let's let them spew all of the hateful comments that they want so that the public, and that's the reason why I put the show comments on the stage, because I want everyone who watches this show to see the type of comments that people come in here and put. And
And
they
they're
probably
never and
wouldn't
they're
do
never
it.
solutions. They're never solutions. It's
Right.
always just insults. And like we say, everybody entitled to their own opinion here. But yes, you're not gonna attack people in the chat, and you're not gonna attack the panel. But you definitely are welcome to put whatever you think in this chat, and whatever you think about the content. You more than welcome to put that in the chat, because we're gonna say what we're gonna say, and we're gonna believe what we want to believe, and we feel like you guys have the same right to do feel the way you feel. So yeah, we don't care about that.
And also, we give opinions on both sides. There was right and wrong with Biden. There was right things with him, wrong with him.
We ain't
Obama
got to
doing,
explain ourselves. No, you ain't got to explain nothing to them. They can listen to our content.
but they always want to blame Biden for everything. But Trump ain't never done nothing wrong. That man ain't did nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Biden train is chugging
Derailed.
away.
Listen to this,
Yeah,
y'all. Y'all see this? Joe Biden is probably the biggest racist. What, like when you running?
Uh-huh.
I've ever heard on the internet.
Maybe Jeffrey Smollett. It's like these people know they be trying to use these words. These
y'all ain't got spell check on y'all phone.
Yeah, they can't even spell racist. Lord Jesus. All right.
So yeah, we would rather stay with Denmark. Thank you. America has had up to 17 bases here, and they have closed them all down except for one, the Bidufik Space Base. And America could amp up the base presence, their military presence, and even their military capabilities here all they wanted to. So that is not the argument. And of course, everyone in Greenland knows this. We may not be many, but we read, we're educated, and we know about the news of the world, right? Especially regarding our own country. So we know about the treaties that we have with America. This is very much akin to when you have a dog sledge team, when he's using that analogy, and one of the dogs all of a sudden turns around and bites you. You have to take it out of the kennel. You have to take it outside and shoot it. Of course, we're not going to shoot Americans. We're peaceful people, but you cannot trust that dog anymore forever. America has 10,000 soldiers who are for combat in Arctic society. Finland alone has 35,000. We also could impose, if we wanted to escalate stuff, we could also impose dropping.
So she's saying basically, if y'all fucked over me once, shame on you. But if I let it happen to me again, it's my fault. So now that we know that we can't trust y'all ain't getting that trust back. In addition to the fact that she's basically outlining some of the tactics or ways that they can respond by removing your troops. And then if there's other allied countries that are willing to back these people up, they can also have them remove their troops.
And they are NATO right on their side, and we just got kicked out of NATO.
So
Yep.
If she's not finished, she's definitely going to continue to outline things that they can do. But once she talks about it, we're gonna talk about the implications and what that could mean for America if they move forward with this.
All American treasury bonds, right? That would hurt.
It's an all
We
American
also have,
treasury
when you
bond.
look at France and Canada and all of the allies that are coming to our rush right now, a very big arsenal actually of soldiers and of weapons, especially. I mean, America had to borrow Denmark's warship for Arctic seas. So, I mean, it's not a given that America would win here. We fought alongside America in a lot of other wars around the world because we wanted to adhere to the treaties that we had gone through. But they have seen that some of the street fighting in Syria, for example, has been very, very hard on Western soldiers, right? I imagine it would probably be the same in Greenland. It would be like something else. So I wouldn't laugh it off, but of course nobody wants war and nobody wants to be invaded. Of course there are bad chapters with Denmark and Greenland because we have a 400-year history. But actually I also saw a YouTube video that kind of emerged recently that said American soldiers were very bad to some of our people here too in Asuk, which is a small settlement in here. Some of the elders that remember them also said, well, those guys were really not that good. So it really doesn't matter what happened between Denmark and Greenland. We'll figure that out. Denmark and Greenland is fine as we are. We will figure it out. If we want to be independent, Greenlanders should be able to decide that, not with pressure from a superpower somewhere. And we are well aware that if we became independent tomorrow, he would just invade us because he would have no problems with NATO, Europe, everything else. So I think he's banking sort of in a very insulting way that Greenlanders are like stupid, uneducated people who doesn't follow the news around the world, and we're not. It's the exact opposite. We're going to be here hundreds of years after Donald Trump. Even if he invaded us, I think we would just wait him out like bad weather. Everyone here knows that the weather decides. If we get a storm, we may have to hunker down for a day or two, and we will hunker down for a year or two, or even 10 years or 20 years, and then we'll go back to Denmark as soon as Trump and his likes were gone. Everyone wants a peaceful solution. Donald Trump is the only one who seems to want to fight, and I don't even think the American military would want to fight. It just seems crazy and unhinged. It seems like he's going to pay off some of his wealthy donors so he can run for president a third time, to be honest. That's what most Greenlanders are thinking. We don't know, but that's what we're thinking. They already did a poll last year. 6% only was pro-American. I have seen a lot of videos on social media lately where they are saying, I'm sorry, I was wrong about MAGA, I was wrong about America. So I would think it would be even less percent now. So only 6% a year ago, and I think probably even fewer now. 85% overwhelmingly said no last year. As I said, I think the percentage is higher now. So no. Decisively no. Nobody wants NATO to be pitted against each other. Nobody. I mean, nobody, except maybe Donald Trump, and nobody knows why. We're thinking, is he too good friends with Putin, or what is happening here? Nobody wants Greenland to be a battleground. But we have seen a lot of nations kind of step up, and as I mentioned, they're trying to do the last friendly gesture towards America, as well as displaying we do actually have military capabilities. We still want to be friends. But as you saw today, the Canadian Prime Minister, he went to China to try and make new relations. So if Donald Trump wants a new world order, okay, then that's what he's going to get. 74% of Americans, ordinary Americans, do not want to invade Greenland. And I think probably amongst those 74%, most of the military capability is probably in there because they know they would be attacking a NATO ally. They know they would be going into a European country. And since World War II, the Western Hemisphere has kind of banded together. So it's very weird that he's trying to do that. Some Europeans are hoping that maybe he's just trying to get them to really amp up their military quick. I don't think so. I think he wants Greenland, but we'll see.
All right.
Well, she did say that they have a lot of oil and a lot of other minerals that, that's what's keeping them going. It's the oil and the minerals they have there. And, Venezuela, oil and the minerals, Nigeria, oil and the minerals. Everything is oil. oil. So, all these three countries have that, alike. So, that's one thing I just want to bring to attention. If it's so much about drugs and everything else, why is everybody talking about the oil of these three countries?
Look, this is a good comment. Kimberly said, we need to be calling Congress every day. They aren't doing their job. They can stop him, but they also are afraid of the Trump-steam files because a great deal of them are in it. Leave them alone. That's funny. Oh,
Well,
she
do
meant,
anybody
she meant to
know?
say leave Greenland alone.
Yeah, leave Greenland alone. Do anyone know why he want to acquire Greenland?
Just
What's
to,
his reasoning?
he done gave us so many now. I don't think
Oil.
anybody really knows a clear cut reason for him
Well, we
wanting.
know what it's about under the underlying reason, but what is it what's the lie that he's telling?
Well, he says that it's going to make we can't protect. First off, he says that we can't protect Greenland unless we own them. Then he says that because of its proximity, we have to own them because we can't just be neighbors with other countries or something to that effect because it's a security risk. Then he also said that, I mean, a lot of people are speculating it's the natural minerals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then,
Bingo. The one speculating that they right on the money, but go ahead, I digress.
but then also there are people who are saying because of its proximity to the North Pole, making it so cool, it's a perfect place to put these massive data centers that they need to build for AI. So they want to also use it for that as well. But there are a lot of different reasons that Trump can actually benefit
And
from.
the latest one,
What's the
he
latest?
gave the latest one was he wanted to make them a part of the United States because he wanted to take over the Western Hemisphere. Remember, he wants
Well,
the
no, I
Western
don't think
Hemisphere
that
to be under the United States control.
but he gave a reasoning for security reasons,
Right.
and
Well, I'll tell you
natural
what.
Right.
resources.
I tell you what, it's gonna take us years upon years upon years to build back trust with any other countries because they see how dumb America was to elect somebody, a buffoon like this in office, put him in office like this. Someone who's totally incompetent, never had any government experience and running the country like it's a damn game show. And don't have a clue about government, none whatsoever. And that's on us. I don't mean us because I know a lot of people didn't vote for him, but enough people voted for him to put him back in office again. And so that it's going to reflect on the whole country. It's just like when you at your job, somebody break a rule, they make rules for everybody.
Right.
Everybody got to follow the new rule
One
because of
rotten
one
apple
person.
spoiled a bunch, right?
One rotten apple spoiled the entire bunch, and that's how America will be looked upon. And it will take us years to overcome this.
Yep. And I think that it's always going to be this sense of we also understand that this could still happen again.
Yeah, they're gonna be
In
side
every
eyeing us.
decision.
They're gonna,
Right.
no matter who in office, it's always they're gonna have a side eye. Yeah, like she said, we want to be friends, but we're gonna watch you too. We don't trust you as far as we can throw you. Is basically what she was saying.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
because she said that when you got a pack of dogs, with a sled, she said one is going to turn. Once that one turn and bite you, that's it. There's no more
you gotta make
trust.
an
You don't trust
example.
that dog. You're going to take him away from the pack. Right. So that's
Show
what they're
them
about
other
to do with the
dogs what'll
United States.
happen
Make
if
us an example.
yeah. They gonna show the other dogs what'll happen if you try this shit with us again. All right.
Well, I'm
Well,
scared of NATO. I am. I'm scared of NATO like I'm I'm more scared of NATO than I am Trump's steam files.
look. And then So
You're not the only one, because I've been thinking about NATO.
okay, so yeah, NATO is going to be a point of contention, but I mean, just think about all of the things that we're talking about at one time. We have NATO, then we also have a civil uprising that some people are calling the early stages of a revolution taking place within the United States. What do you think? What would happen if, like, all of the Democrats and all the liberals and all the people who don't like what's going on in America? What if everybody just took all of their money out of the bank and just stop shopping for an entire day? I think that would completely disrupt the entire system. And then at that point, they would have no choice but to listen to
And
what
not
we
pay the income tax on April 17th.
and not pay that income tax. Yeah. So, we'll see what this leads to, though. Of course, guys, we ask that y'all hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be talking about a lot of things in the next few days, upcoming for the foreseeable future, because it seems like it's going to be back to back drama, chaos, headlines for all of 2026. I think that he's just starting. It's going to ratchet up, and we're going to be right here to report it and to talk about it. And hey, if you guys like what he's doing, you guys are more than welcome to join the conversation in the chat. We do not discriminate, and there may be some opportunities for you guys to actually come up and debate us, or just give us your side of the story, your point of view, and maybe we can try to understand your perspective, your mindset, and not look at you as a cult member. But other than that, do you guys have any closing statements so we can get up out of here?
Yeah. Like he said, just take what was spoke to you, leave what you didn't. Take what you want to from this conversation, leave what you didn't want to take from the conversation, and keep growing. Thank you for spending time with us. And until next time, walk in your truth and in your purpose.
Also, do your research. Just don't go by, if you feel that we're not saying the truth, do your research. Really do a thorough research. Just don't skim. Do a thorough research and see what we actually said is true or not. Instead of spewing hatred or calling names, actually stop, do your research, check it out, see it for yourself, analyze it for yourself like we are doing. And thank you for coming in, and come back to see us again.
All right. Well, with that being said, guys, we are out, and we will see y'all on the next show.
Yeah, you know what time it is. No scripts, no filters, no fear. We said what we said and meant that. Off the record, yeah, we keep it real. No filter, shit, we say what we feel. Politics, stories, truth on display. Come on, we talk that talk in our own way. Off the record, minion the guy, let's go. Foxy to Roxy, 3 she go hard.
I swear on everything, that is exactly what he said right here in the studio.
That is the funniest thing I have heard all week.
So hard, busy with the facts she never miss. I said what I said, that's the twist. Off the record, yeah, come and catch the vibe. Where real ones talk and the truth survive. Late night truth, we don't just speak. We pull the roots from what they keep. From pain to progress, we light the flame. No spin, no script, we call it by name. Minion bring the vision, Foxy bring the flame. Lizzie drop a cease, it'll never be the same. I said what I said, say it loud, no shame. We taking truth global, remember the name. No apologies, no disguise. Just soul and purpose in our eyes. We move with power, bold and free. Say it loud, you gon' the record.